Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and today is December 28th, and I want to welcome everybody who's here viewing this today. This might be your first time to view, or this might be your 45th time to view, but whichever, I love you guys. I love talking with you about my knitting, and I love the fact that you join me and share what I've been doing, knitting, spinning, dyeing in Lima, Ohio. Um, I don't know if you could tell, but it's a rather sunny day. I had to kind of close that curtain today. I hope the light is okay though. So anyways, I do want to welcome one new member of our Ravelry group. Betsy Q from Washington, welcome. She joined last week and she left me some very positive remarks on my different venues. So I really am so glad that she's joined us. Welcome, Betsy, and welcome to everybody who has joined on YouTube also. If you would like to have recognition or to join my Ravelry group where we do some knit-alongs and things, please come over to the Ravelry page, Naturally Kim's Knitting, and just introduce yourself and become a member. I would love to have more and more people join this year. I told my son yesterday how many members I have and how many people view the YouTube, and he goes, "Really?" He goes, "That's amazing." Especially the fact that you guys find me basically. I'm the only one in my family that's a knitter. And I'm the only, well, I might have a couple friends that knit, but they're not really internet savvy. So they don't watch it on here. So everybody who has found me through the internet. Excuse me. I have a little frog in my throat, so I may have to have a drink of something in a minute. Anyways, I want to, like I said, I want to welcome you guys. You're the reason I do this. You're the reason that I love to get in front of this camera, because I am not a camera person generally. But because of you, I get in front of the camera and I have somebody that I can share my love of knitting with. Okay, well, might as well get right on task. Before I do that, I had a wonderful Christmas. It was late. We had it yesterday. Well, we've had it a couple times. We met with my father-in-law before he went out to Connecticut earlier. And my son and his girlfriend came over, and of course my hubby and myself. And we had a little Christmas with him first. And then yesterday, on his way home from his girlfriend's in Eastern Ohio, my son and his girlfriend came by the house, and we had a nice little Christmas dinner. Had a leg of lamb and the veggies that went with it and everything. So yay, it was nice. I'm going to change this angle just a little if I can do it without knocking my camera off. Anyways, so yeah, so we had a really nice Christmas then. I was feeling a little down on Christmas itself. I told my husband, I said, I was one that when I was raised, I had four siblings. And on Christmas, my mom was such the hostess that I remember many a time where my aunts and uncles would come to her house and we would just be bursting at the seams. And to go from that to just my husband or myself yesterday was a little bit different. or this Christmas. So anyways, enough of that. Let's get on to what I've been working. I cannot show you a lot because they're still super secret projects, but I can show you the yarn and I can tell you what they are. But the super secret things are coming from Java Pearl Design. She has a book that she's going to be publishing this, I think it's this spring. I might be wrong, spring or summer. I'll let you know more about it as it's closer. So I'm testing patterns for her book. And it's fun. It's fun to see how different patterns turn out. So partly because of that, my Milkweed sweater, of course, by Carol Sunday, is still in hibernation. It's getting closer to being able to be gotten out. And my hubby sweater is also in hibernation. It's getting closer to being woken up for the winter. If you remember, my Milkweed is in the, what's it called? Rae Classic Heathers. It's that purple. Beautiful. And my hubby sweater is out of my NapiersKnits Dandy Green. I'm going to stop this for a second and start it because I'm afraid it might be getting off. Just a minute. Okay, I think I'm back. We'll see how this works. Sometimes it just wants to skip, and I noticed last week I was out of sync, and I wasn't sure how to fix that. If anybody knows, please let me know, other than stopping and restarting. But I have learned how to put two videos together. So, okay, so my big project, right? I apologize. My dog is just woofing back here, and I don't know what she's woofing at. My big project, of course, is my son's sweater, and he got to see it yesterday, and he approves. Yay. Here it is so far. You can tell I was here last Wednesday. I've gotten all of this done. This was that gold yarn that I overdyed with black, and this was a real light gold, and it turned out so beautiful. And I love this brown. I'm going to pet it again just like I did last week. And at the top, what I like is in the other color, you could not really tell the pattern on the top that much. And this is my pattern. I will be posting this in Ravelry when I finish the whole sweater. But I have a couple little cables and a big one, and then my own little pattern in the middle. And I've been working on the gussets. Right there, you can see that's kind of a triangle shape right now. When I get 19 stitches in between here, then I will be working just on the front for a little while. And that'll go fast. So I'll work on the front, then I'll work on the back, then the shoulders, and then the sleeves. Oh, and the neck too. So isn't that beautiful? I'm so happy with this. And like I said, of course, this was my own dyeing job, and it was a mess up from the original color, but I love this so much better, and I think he does too, the way he reacted yesterday. So he's going to be getting this as soon as it's finished. He was surprised how much I got done in a week. Anyways, this is on size 7 needles, and like I said, I will post this. It will be a pay-for pattern, but it'll only be a couple dollars on Ravelry when I finish it. And I hope, let me know what you think of it, because I love it, but, you know, I'm kind of partial. Okay, that's some other things that I'm working on. Oh, I don't have that sock over here. Sorry, I still had it in my bag. I did finish one of my super secret socks last week. I have the second one to work on. Actually, I started the second one. This is out of Bernat Cottonish in the seersucker colorway, and this is a sock that's going to be in CC Java Pearl's book, so I can show you this part of it. This is a DK yarn, and this was worked on size 3 needles, and actually this one's going to be for my hubby. He kind of liked it, and I said, okay, well then it'll be yours. So I didn't make the cuff really long. In fact, the cuff only comes down to there finished. Usually I like to make it as long as the foot, but I decided this one I wouldn't. But that's the seersucker in the Bernat Cottonish. And if you remember, this was the same yarn that I made my daughter's sock out of, or sweater out of earlier this year. So yay. Happy about that. I have to see what else I'm working on. Ooh, I have another sock I didn't bring out. Okay, this is a sock also. Can make sure I just show you the sole of the foot. Second sock, I've just started it. Super secret pattern. This is in the Sausalito 8304 and size 1 needles. I like this one a lot. I can't show you the sock itself, but it might end up being my sock. I love it very much. I have to decide whether it's going to be mine or I give it to the soup kitchen. I could give it to my husband. I don't think he'd enjoy it as much as I will. And that was in my bag that I got when I got Cece's last book. So, Let's see, what else am I working on? Oh, one of my works of love that I really have not gotten very far on. This is my granddaughter's mitten, her first mitten. Not gotten as far as I thought I would this week. I'm getting ready to separate the thumb stitches from everything else. I've just done a few, well, this might be easier to see on this side, a few increases there as we've gone along, and I'm getting ready to do the separation of the thumb. And once I do, it's funny, I hate putting things on waste yarn or on stitch holders. I'm always afraid I'm going to drop all kinds of stitches. But I know once I do, I'm going to love what happens. I've made mittens before, and I love what they turn out with. Oh, and this is out of my Genevieve Penelope glitter base yarn. The fingering weight, this is the variegated, as you can tell. So I've made her hat. She wore her hat, even though she doesn't have her mittens yet. She wore her hat, and she has a little video where she's walking down the road. Now she's got an Elsa doll from Frozen. She is big into Frozen. And as she's walking down the street, she's going, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Those are the words she knows. But she was having so much fun, and she enjoys it so much, and she was loving her hat. So I've got to get the mittens done because, it's an act of love. Grandmothers just love to knit for their grandchildren. I do anyways, and a couple other people in the Ravelry group do too, so yay. So anyways, this is from the Jules pattern. It's a drops design. And like I said, this is my Genevieve Penelope variegated yarn. Now, to go along with that, I have my self-striping yarn. I just finished this sock last night. And this is in the Genevieve Penelope self-striping. As you can see, there's the pink and the blue and the purple and the black, because pink and purple are her favorite colors, and dragons should have black toenails and blue eyes. At least hers does. Penelope does. So this is our Genevieve Penelope self-striping. I'll be getting more of this done. See, I'm supposed to be getting another shipment of yarn bases tomorrow. So I'll be starting to dye again tomorrow, and I'll be having more of this in there. I've had a lot of people enjoy the Midnight Journey and the Swallowtail. So I'll be putting more of those in probably throughout this next week. So anyways, that's the Genevieve Penelope super secret sock. And then I have the shawl that I started for her. But for CC, I mean, Java Pearl Designs. But it was going to be too wide. I'm going to make it into a cowl. And it was going to be too wide for my neck. So a couple of the other pattern testers cut it down by 1 or 2 repeats. So I just decided last night to start over. All I've done has been knitting the border right now. I cannot decide at this point if it's going to be a shawl or if it's going to, a scarf type thing, or if it's going to be, sorry, I hope this stays in sync, or if it's going to be a cowl. I haven't decided yet, so we will have to see. But this is super secret. This is out of, I got to get the name right, KnitPicks Hawthorne Fingering, and this is Wisp Kettle dye, and then I've also got Sellwood that I'll be working on with it. So, super secret shawl. She also has some fingerless mitts for me to do. See, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's another pattern I'm not doing yet, so I'll have to check that out. Then, as you recall, I shared with you how I got my Ashworth Kiwi 2 spinning wheel. Sorry, my cat made an extra little noise, made the dog go woof again. I tell you. Anyways, I got my spinning wheel, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I wanted to show you my first hank of yarn that I've done. And it's not exactly gorgeous or anything, but I love it, and I'm going to make something out of it. This is the brown, is the alpaca that my friend gave me, and this this variegated is some that I dyed. It was just a, I've lost the word, roving that I received off of Etsy, and I just dyed it different shades of brown and orange, and I spun those together, and I like it. I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of it yet, but I'm going to make something. If I get enough, I might make a hat for my hubby or for myself. I haven't decided yet. But that's my only finished work this week. I finished a hank of hand-spun alpaca wool blend, so I am so happy. That is it for what's on my needles and what I finished this week. Now, what kind of things have been making me happy? Well, of course, seeing my son and his girlfriend at the Skyping with my grandchildren, I tell you, best thing in the world. That's going to probably be our kind of family get-togethers from now on. My family's just getting spread all too far, and unfortunately they inherited that from us, because when they were little, we would move like every 5 years. And so, you know, moving for them is not a big deal. However, we've been in this spot for 20 years, and so now we're settled and they're off here and there. So it's sad, but it's a good thing when we can get together however we can. I'm still looking for more ideas. I love the ideas I've gotten for my giveaways and my knit-alongs or craft-alongs. Sorry, I'm hoping this doesn't, I don't know why it's skipping today. I'm still looking for more. Next week, I will probably announce my first knit-along for the year. Yay! So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to take the ideas and I'm going to put them in a hat. I'm just going to draw one. So, so we'll see what one comes along first. And of course, I've been Christmas baking. I have a little story to share about that. Well, I made fruitcake, but my husband served it. I made it 2 days ago. And it's supposed to sit for a couple weeks. It's supposed to get mellower as it sits. And my husband decided to put it out yesterday. So we had this very strong tasting fruitcake yesterday. And it was okay. But then we had the day that my son was born. I don't know if you know what monkey bread is. It's a sweet pull-apart bread. And the day that he was born, I started going into labor early in the morning. And rather than waking everybody up, because this was my third delivery, I decided to go ahead and make some monkey bread for the morning. And we had a gas oven, and just about the time I went to put it in the oven, my water broke. So I went ahead, put it in the oven, turned the oven off, thinking, well, when my husband gets home, he can finish baking it. We went to the hospital, delivered my baby Ian. And when my husband picked up my daughter and came back to the house, the monkey bread was perfect. So from that time on, we call it Ian bread. And so I had to make Ian bread since he was here. I always make it for Christmas morning. Well, since he wasn't here Christmas morning, I made it for dessert for yesterday. So we had that, and then they made the most delicious apple pie. My son can bake. He's good. I'm not going to worry about it sinking at this point. I saw it freeze again, but we're almost done, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So if my lips and the voice are off, I apologize. I'm getting ready to talk about what I've been reading, watching, and listening to. Critical Role, of course, but their live ones are on hiatus until after the new year. So I haven't watched any new ones there. Oh, my daughter, what was her latest blog about? Oh, I can't remember. I just read it, and it was really good. I don't know. She has to have some way of keeping up on these things, because she writes about different holidays around the world and things. It wasn't about Kwanzaa. I can't remember, but it's beyondtheschoolyard.blogspot.com. I have a link, but it's to last week's. So go ahead and check her out. She is so great. And she loves the fact that I share it with you guys. And I also, whenever I read it, I hit the Facebook share and Twitter share. Or tweet, whatever. And Twitter share. And she's had a few people that have found her because of that. She has one from Russia, one from France, and several from Great Britain. So she is so happy about that, and I am too, because she's an excellent writer. She has won awards for her writing, and she is just so good. Now, I have finished reading quite a few books this week, and I put links to my reviews in my show notes. So I don't know if you can click on them in YouTube, but if not, you can go to my blogger.com, naturallykimsknittingblogger.com, or you can go to WordPress, naturallykimsknittingwordpress.com. But I've read The Woman in the Photograph. It was so good. All my books that I've read this week have been excellent. Brilliant, which is a middle school age book. But it's really great because it's about the depression that hit Ireland. And Ireland? It was somewhere in Great Britain. I think it was Ireland. I could check it out. But anyways, the children decide that they're going to get rid of this thing that's making everybody down. And so they come up with a plan, and the plan is brilliant. And that's the name of the book, Brilliant. Then the Drummond Girls. Oh, talk about friendship. This is a book that's all about friendship. It's about these girls who they met in a restaurant, whether they're customers, servers, bartenders. They met there. And then when one of the girls became engaged, they went off for a weekend trip, and they became fast friends. So no matter what, they get together and they build on this friendship. Well, now one of the friends is starting to lose their memories. And so they decided to record the memories in this book. And it's just such a good book about friendship. I just love it. Then I have one that's called All Dogs Go to Kevin. And I love dogs. I love animals. And so when there's a book that I can review that's about animals, of course I've got to get it. And this was about a vet and basically her experience with 3 dogs that she has. And it was good. And then A Window Open. Okay, A Window Open was not a super great book. But you go read my review about it and see what if it's something, if the title grabs you or something. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean somebody else won't. It's just my opinion. That's why they give me the free books. Anyways, has there been anything else that's been going on this week? I don't think so. I think that's been about it. Of course, Christmas. And I got a game for Christmas. And, and the Harry Potter, the one that was written 19 years later, I got that. I haven't started it yet. I'm going to. My daughter gave that to me. So anyways, where can you find me? Well, you can find me on Ravelry as Napier's Knits and Naturally Kim's Knitting. Napier's Knits is my own personal one. When I have designs, I usually put it through Napier's Knits. On Etsy, my store is also called Napier's Knits. And then on Instagram, you can find me as Knittin_Kim, KNITTIN_Kim. And then YouTube, Blogger, Facebook, and WordPress, you can find me there as Naturally Kim's Knitting. Now, I hope you guys, I just noticed the glare. I apologize on my glasses. That's been the sad thing about glasses all my life. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. Lots of knitting successes and very few, if any, drop stitches. I love you guys. Big hugs, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.